Hi, folks. I'm Gene McLaughlin. I'd like to welcome you to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. Today, our guest is the executive officer from the Office of Economic Development in the mayor's office, Steve Mamakas. Steve, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Same here. Gene.
Mayor, it's been a while, but we're getting back in the swing of things here.
Thank God, Gene. Thank you.
Anything happen recently,
Well,
other than what we're going to talk about?
every day's a different day here
Yeah,
in Old Bridge,
right.
as we all know. But we're up to the challenge every day. There's a lot of things going on, and thank God I have a good team in place
Right.
that we can respond immediately. And anybody who calls with a problem in the morning, usually they get an answer by the afternoon here. So
Okay,
things are
thank-
really moving in the right direction.
Thank you, Mayor. Steve, if I can sort of turn to you. You brought in a lot of businesses over the years since you've been here, since 2017, 18. You brought in 90, 100 businesses, whatever. What impact has the COVID-19 had on that whole business situation that you've been overseeing?
It's been a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
We're not going to sugarcoat it. It's been rough out there. It's been
Yes.
a heavy weight on our businesses.
Right.
Going through it and now coming out of it. Coming out of it, we do see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's been a challenge. The impact has been from the smaller entrepreneurs who have just had opening up their stores.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Depending on what service they were in, those had the biggest challenges. The one with the track record was able to hold on. So those are the biggest challenges out there. But we see light at the end of the tunnel.
Were the service businesses more affected than, say, retail or food or?
It
service
was across the board. Service businesses, yes, but straight across the board.
Are these businesses have been lost forever? They've been closed. They've been shut down. People are just out of business now in some of these situations.
It's a mixture of all.
Really?
Yeah. So as I go through the town on a daily basis, I stop in, talk to them. I understand their pain. A good thing that we'll talk about that in a bit. What's come out of this
Yes,
is,
sir.
it's been a challenge out there. But
Right.
our businesses are resilient, and again, the ones that just had started out, some of them are surviving. Some of them just
Right.
had or forced to close.
It's got to be just brutal.
It,
be
it,
out
it has been. I mean, it's just been being out there and
Yeah.
and understanding. There's a saying that we think, oh, we know what the problem is out there,
Yes, sir.
but we don't understand what the challenge is out there. When you're in a business and understanding the challenge, sitting inside that with no customers coming in, being closed, and the bills piling up,
yeah.
it's just utterly. It's
Yeah, no, it was frustrating too, Gene. We saw
Yeah.
the big businesses, I'm not going to mention any names, but they were allowed to operate, throughout the whole pandemic. But yet
Right.
certain businesses were singled out and they were told to shut down.
Right.
And they've been having occupancy limits where these big box stores, and it was fair game.
I know,
Do whatever
yeah.
you want to do. So I didn't think it was fair the way it was handled.
Yeah.
And I think early on, Steve was out there, and a lot of businesses felt they could open safely,
Yes, sir.
but were not allowed to. So I think there's a lot of anger out there also.
Well, I
about
see
the
a
way
lot
they
of
were handled.
articles, Mayor, in the papers now about the wisdom of a complete shutdown anyway, that it's had a tremendous impact on job loss,
Sure.
on people losing their businesses, losing their homes, this type of thing.
And it was
Hey,
unfair, Gene.
Yeah, it
Complete
was,
shutdown is
right.
complete shutdown.
Yeah.
Not you can stay open.
No, that seems dramatic. No, you're right. You're right. What was the impact on the township in terms of operations?
Well, we had the impact with our businesses. We had a lot of stress within our residents. Obviously, we had the health issue with the loss of life
Right.
here in Old Bridge. People sick. Our hospital was under tremendous amount of pressure to
Right.
keep up with the demand. But the financial impact on the town was a loss of revenue,
Right.
which is probably about $1.5 million
Really?
that we lost. But thank God we're conservative in our financial, and we were able to, I'm not going to say absorb that loss, but we were able to handle it and move some things around and weather the storm, as they say. We had money for a rainy day,
Right. the
but we didn't know
reserve.
we'd need it for a rainy year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, but we were fortunate, a lot more in a better shape than a lot of towns and cities are right now. Old Bridge is in a much better place. And I know that's not saying much, but we are in better than a lot of towns are.
that's a positive,
And I
though.
think our businesses here in Old Bridge are in a better place than a lot of businesses in other towns, where I go through and see complete closure and
Really?
plywood.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Okay. Mayor, I see you got into the vaccination business too, providing vaccination sites
Yes.
and all. How's that gone? How's it going now?
It started out very difficult where we had to beg and borrow vaccines that weren't being used
Yes, sir.
locally, and then making sure our elder population got vaccinated. Then we partnered with the hospital. They made some vaccines available on a weekly basis, so we're able to schedule those people in. As you know, the state and county found in their infinite wisdom that Old Bridge would not be the site of a vaccination site.
Yeah.
That was kind of upsetting and frustrating also as the third largest town in
Yeah.
Middlesex County, that we had to fend for ourselves.
And that
again,
was a county decision. A county decision,
yes.
really.
So, and our staff was up to the task, and we've helped over 500 Old Bridge residents get vaccinated. And it seemed, supply and demand was the issue in the beginning. Now you could just walk into to the
right.
Old Bridge Hospital and in other places and get vaccinated. So it was very difficult in the beginning, but now anyone wishing to get vaccinated, there's no excuse not to.
Right.
I mean, the process they put up in the beginning was just
It was
horrendous.
It was draconian.
It was, people who were not computer savvy, and their first question was,
I
"What's your
know.
email address?"
I know. It was
so
tough.
it was just.
Mayor, where are the sites now today if I wanted to go get vaccinated? Where would
We
I go?
recommend the Old Bridge Hospital.
Old
You
Bridge
could just
Hospital,
walk in
okay.
or make a reservation also. And I believe some of the bigger stores also and some of the pharmacies have walk-in.
Well, they're like
But we're
Walgreens
directing
and
people right to the
CVSs.
hospital.
Okay. Okay. Steve, I come back to you a little bit. What about now? Do you see a recovery?
Recovery is happening. It
Is
basically,
recovery? In what way?
my role is basically to help businesses stay in town, attract businesses, and help businesses expand. And we've now expanded to recovery. So from the very beginning, even before shutdown, I was out in the community giving them the links to the SBA, the county, the state,
Really?
before even we even thought about a shutdown. And then the shutdown came, but we stayed totally in communication with them to allow them to get out ahead of it. And that was key to some of our businesses still staying in operation because they were out ahead of it. So recovery is taking place. The interesting fact, and you may have asked that before, we've lost a small amount of entrepreneurs. We've lost maybe about 9 to 10 businesses,
Really?
but we've gained
Yeah, I was gonna
probably
ask
about
you,
8
gained
of
people
those.
coming
Where
back in.
the mayor and I and the council, we've been out doing grand opening. We've been doing ribbon cuttings of different businesses
That's gotta
that
be
are
encouraging.
backfilling. We have one business that closed and an exact same business opened up. Unfortunate they closed, but a new operator is in the same space operating.
What
So
kind of businesses, Steve? Food, service, retail?
it covered the gamut, but mostly the food services. Those were the ones that weren't able to meet that need of getting out there and that delivery, teaming up with the other larger delivery services.
Yes, sir.
So mostly the service businesses, some of the smaller, and we even had some businesses that just decided they were going to retire. They just
Yeah,
closed the doors.
yeah.
So you may see some stores closed, but they retired. They said it's time.
But new opportunities, as you say, are coming.
Yes.
huh?
Yes.
Steve, what about the availability of people to fill these slots? There's
Big-
some discussion about people, employees coming in, signs in the paper, semi-employees and so on. How's that working?
Very big challenge right now.
Is it really?
Phone, I just got off text messages, phone calls, emails. We need people to work. The jobs are out there in this community for people to work. They have to get out there. From hostesses to cooks, across the board. The challenge is, and we all know it, but we don't understand it, but it's the fact that, the question is, do people want to go to work right now?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the challenge. So from our larger operations to just a small down little entrepreneur needs help. So what happens with what the challenge is if they don't get the people they need, they have to cut the hours of operation.
Right.
Cutting the hours of operation then cuts the revenue. And after a while they say, I can't operate anymore. And we lose the businesses we need in this town in order for our residents to get that service they need. Otherwise, they have to go to another town. And who knows if that's going to be there in the other town.
That's well said. Mayor, it really is.
Sure,
It's
and
almost a paradox. People
Yeah.
usually struggle to find a
And
job.
it's not the
Yes.
issue just here in Old Bridge. It's all over the state
Yes.
and other parts of the country. I've seen it where people are getting big sign-on bonuses just to work. So that's something I think it's going to take some time, but eventually it will work its way out.
I just find it such an interesting twist. You know, people are usually struggling to get employed, to
Yes.
find a job, and now they're
Interest-
not available.
they
Interesting
don't.
enough, I just got off the phone with a company that's called, I think it's Rich Tech Robotics. They have an actual robot that goes throughout the restaurant with shelves on it that will serve the resident, to serve the customers.
Yeah.
And it travels through there. So now that's a business now taking that new initiative because they can't get employees and using a robotic technology innovation, which cuts down on staff. These things work 24 hours a day.
Yes.
So think about getting out there and getting a job before, unfortunately, you're replaced by a robot. We don't want that.
We've seen it in many industries.
I know.
Yeah.
A little touchy.
So,
The cruise ships are having robots make drinks now.
Yeah.
Or they
Yeah.
will be doing when they get the cruise ships back. Mayor, you feel there are any lessons learned from this? Do you take anything away? Any
sure.
silver linings?
Oh yes, there has been silver linings. There has been businesses that have adopted and changed the ways they do, and they've had very successful years. I mean, we've seen takeout and the food delivery
Yes, yeah.
grow by 1,000%, and a lot of businesses now do more than they do with people walking in.
Yeah.
They actually deliver more than that, so they don't need a big rest. They just need a kitchen, really,
Right.
and a few delivery. And we've seen the delivery go into robots. You know, we all see the commercial with the robot delivering your
Right.
your
Yeah.
favorite
Oh,
pizza.
yeah. Walking up to your door or
Yes.
something.
it's
Yes,
basically.
but there has been, and that's I think the American way of, you know, we're always looking to do things better.
Right.
And when you're forced into a corner, you as a businessman, you always look to and you improve upon
Yeah.
it.
And as you
Some-
said, the entrepreneurs, they're
Yes,
always
the
out there
entrepreneurship
looking,
is alive
looking
and
for
well.
a new find, something new.
Some of the businesses have reinvented themselves.
Yes.
It's just seeing it is fascinating. A good thing that came about through the shutdown was our businesses stepped up to the need, and they were sending food over to the hospital, to the
Really?
emergency rooms. So as I went out there, we connected them up. They said, "How can we help?" And we got them. They were sending pizza and ice cream, everything to the emergency room. So the community came together to help each other. So it was really something impressive and nice to see.
How was the food bank impacted over here?
Yes.
We got our
Yes.
food drive,
Yes.
right? We got our food
Yes,
drive.
our largest demand now, but again, we've been up to the task.
Right.
No one in Old Bridge needs to go hungry. We have food available, and as Steve said, a lot of businesses stepped up to the
That's-
plate
that's
with
huge.
with donations, and monetary donations came in. So yes, record demand, but yet record donations.
Okay.
We had a drive-through food drive.
We have, yeah.
It was very,
Yeah,
a
the
lot of
community, as Steve said, was very, and I'm not surprised by the
Okay.
generosity displayed by our community.
Okay, well, thank you. Gentlemen, I'd like to ask you to hold on for just a moment. Folks, we're getting ready to take a break right now. We're talking with the mayor and with Steve Mamakas from the Office for Economic Development about the impact that the COVID-19 has had on the township. We'll be back in a moment to pick up the conversation.
The COVID pandemic has forced arts venues across New Jersey to close their doors. We hope this is just an intermission, but your support is needed now more than ever before. Without it, many may never reopen, impacting countless local businesses and communities. The arts in New Jersey drive $662 million to our state's economy. Recovery depends on you. Learn how you can help at keepjerseyartsalive.org.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. Today, we're discussing some of the impacts that the township has suffered because of the COVID-19 virus over the past 19, 20 months. We're going to continue that discussion right now. Steve, if I can pick up with you. Before we had this whole event occur and hit the township, you had a lot of initiatives going. You had Uber, you had the the property tax card. Still continuing those?
All of them are continuing. Property tax card is out there. We're signing up some of the new businesses now. The Alliance, we're going to start bringing back in slowly as everything opens up. As of today, I believe everything is kind of open up. We're going to start bringing that back online again. It was a little bit of a challenge trying to get our people to come out, but
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
Any new initiatives?
Well, actually, just prior to shutdown, I was in contact and I made contact with the New Jersey TV and Movie Commission.
Huh.
We've been touring them around the town of all the assets that the town has
Really?
to bring productions here, which then generates revenue when we have film crews here filming.
Fantastic.
We already had, the mayor and I were out at Raceway Park and they filmed one of the commercials, the Lotto commercial that everyone's seen with the rollerblade guy.
Oh, yeah.
That was filmed here in Old Bridge.
Okay.
So we're bringing that another revenue generation here. So we think out of the box, innovation, try to get that whole industry, which has been impacted as well.
Oh, tremendous.
The same
Yeah.
thing with the industry is looking for space. So as we build up space here in the community, the industry is looking to get out and build studios. So we're in that
You're in a
conversation
good
as
spot.
well.
Okay.
So-
One thing, before the virus hit, there were a lot of things going on. I just wonder if we could touch on them briefly. The hotel. The hotel. How are we doing with the hotel?
Hotel is pretty close to opening. The challenge was pandemic shut down,
Yeah.
no workers to actually work on the building. It is close. They're working on now the bottom floor and the outside of the facility to get it up to par. There are two items that the hotel owner has to deal with, or two organizations. Of course, Township, but also it's a Hampton Inn by Hilton. Hilton comes out and also inspects and says, we need a certain way.
Right.
So their way might not be the way it was installed. So
Yes, sir.
those are challenges when you build a hotel. When the pandemic hit,
Yes, sir.
it stopped production
Yeah, I
in its
bet.
tracks. We're looking at probably a midsummer opening at this point, hopefully, because of the delay.
Right.
But I constantly get phone calls. When is it opening? Someone's getting married. We need our family.
Yeah.
I was pulling in the other day and somebody stopped me in my tracks and go, my daughter's getting married. We need a place to stay. When is this place opening?
Yeah.
But
I can see that.
soon enough, we will reap the benefits of having a hotel in Old Bridge.
Okay, that's encouraging. Mayor, I think on the other hand, too, the hospital seems to have made tremendous grounds just walking into the hospital now. The front is all changed, the coffee
Yeah, we've
bar.
seen a tremendous makeover over the
Yeah.
last year for the front of the hospital and the parking.
Yes,
but
sir.
I think the biggest improvement has been on the inside, where that whole first floor now,
It's great.
well, half of it is done now for the new emergency room
Yeah.
treatment areas. Now the old emergency room now is off limits, and they're redoing that one. So yes, we thank the hospital for their investment here in Old Bridge. I believe it was over $40 million.
$40 million investment. The mayor
$40 million.
actually had me sit on one of the committees as a resident of the town and as the economic development officer to see what we can add, what the residents, and we had some other people in town. And the emergency room, not that we want to go to an emergency room.
No, but
However, it's going to be state of the art. There's going to be technology walls or boards up in the emergency rooms that you'll know your doctor, your nurse. You'll know where you are in the process as your x-rays
the
are
queue
coming
and
back as a
where to
queue.
be taken.
So to inform the patients in private rooms.
It's a
We were
whole
in there.
new experience.
Yes, sir.
Private rooms, there's an area dedicated for addiction
That will
and
be
mental
that will
health,
be a
that they're
big
not
one.
mixed, they're not with the general
Mm-hmm.
public now. And so them and their families could have some privacy and get the treatment that they so deserve and need.
Okay.
So it's great,
That
and we
sounds
can't thank the
great.
hospital
It
enough.
looks great.
Also, there's the 24-hour Starbucks that'll be in there, and the pharmacy inside. As you come out of the hospital, the pharmacy is right there to fill your prescriptions
Is
as
that
you
what's
walk
going to
out the
take
door.
place too? Okay,
Yes.
good. How about the control farm, Mayor?
Yes.
It's one of our
Control
hot
Farm is
topics.
moving. There was a presentation at the last council meeting.
Yes, sir.
People can watch and see where we were, where we are, and where we're going. There's a lot of things happening over at the Control Farm right now as we speak, as the show airs. You're going to see some major construction work start over there with the construction of the new parking lot, the driveway in the front entrance. The house is almost done.
Right.
So you're going to see a lot
That's gonna
going
be a
on there.
winner.
And again, it was impacted by the COVID, but also there was some restrictions put on the site by the state that we had to take a little time out and do some archaeological digs, as they say, and we had
Okay.
to get away from those. We had to redesign. But that was all. If anyone needs information on the Control Farm, look at the last council meeting, and if you have any questions, please contact my office or the engineering department, who is overseeing the project. If you have any
Okay.
specific
Okay,
questions.
that'll be great when that
We
finally
can't
comes to
wait. That's going to
fruition,
be
yeah.
a jewel for the town, right here at Town Center.
Mayor, I see that Habitat for
Yes.
Humanity is coming to town.
Yes,
What's
finally,
taking
finally,
place there?
finally,
What are they going
finally.
to do, and where are they going to do it?
This is on Lawrence Harbor Parkway in Norwood. This was the location of an old elementary school that's been abandoned, and a senior center
Yes,
that's
sir.
been abandoned for as long as I can remember. And with our affordable housing settlement, this was an area identified where the township owned the property, and we could have a say in what happens on this property. And we thought it was a good location to have affordable housing units.
Yes, sir.
And Habitat for Humanity is about the third organization that's been involved, has now stepped up to the plate and is moving forward with this project, which is going to be 13 units. They're going to be owned by the individual, not rentals, as most like in other towns.
Yes.
And most of our affordable housing are rentals. But this is going to be ownership, sweat equity. This is going to be a project that brings the community together. We're going to be looking for volunteers to go there and actually construct these units.
Oh, really?
So
Are
I'm
these going
looking
to be
forward to it.
houses or apartments?
Attached, yes.
Okay.
One's going to be unattached, but the 12 are going to be attached.
Okay.
I think they're going to be two to 3 stories, very nice backyards, off-street parking, just very nice units.
That'll be nice. How
gonna
is
be
it going
nice.
to be marketed? Is it going to go through the normal real estate process?
No, these
or-
will be by Habitat for Humanity. They have a list. They have qualified individuals. They have to meet the requirements. They have to be able to pay a mortgage every month.
Okay.
And they have to be willing to put, that sweat equity into their home that is being built.
Yeah,
So and there's going to be preference to veterans.
that's good.
We're looking to attract our starting professionals, our nurses, our teachers, our firefighters, our police officers, who need that starter home. That's what these are going to be, starter homes, which they could now start their family, start their career, and then maybe move on to another unit and give someone else the opportunity to.
Yeah, is this underway now, the building, or is it going to
No,
be
the building
started?
did not start yet. The demolition, the old school is gone. The township took care of that. The site is ready. And Habitat just purchased another piece of property across the street, which that 13th unit is going to go. So
okay.
they're all in. In fact, I did
That's a
an
nice
interview with them a few days ago, and that should be airing soon. We have a virtual kickoff sometime in June, I believe.
Okay.
So, but stay tuned for that.
Okay.
Very
good. We'll have
looking
to
forward to
We'll
that.
have to do some more on that.
Yes.
Okay. Mayor, along with other things, we're getting some grant money, I understand? A block grant?
Well,
or-
the federal government has, as you know, the Relief Act. And
Yes,
all
sir.
that. Yes, the township is getting some money, not as much as we think we should get.
Right.
When we look at other towns with smaller populations, and I don't know what they won't give us the formula.
Yes.
But I see other towns getting more money than Old Bridge. I just don't know why. But yes, we are getting that money. We don't have all the restrictions yet, how we can spend that money. When they first introduced that, they said it was going to be, well, you can do whatever you want with it. Well, I knew that wasn't going to be.
Right,
You know,
right,
we can't
yeah.
do that. So now I think there's more and more and more
There's some strings
restrictions.
somewhere.
A lot of strings.
Yeah.
There are ropes attached to this money. But when we do get it, we will spend it accordingly. Obviously, we want to give as much, as we can for our residents. Money. I can't give it as tax relief. That's one of the things, but we can use it to capital projects that now the residents don't have to finance or fund. So it's going to go right back into the community. I can assure you that.
Okay, and Mayor, going back to the Habitat homes, they'll be on the tax rolls as any other
Yes.
home would be?
Oh yes, they
They
pay
would be
taxes on
the
their
tax roll,
homes.
Pay taxes on those.
Yes.
Okay. Steve, what are you thinking you'd like to share with the residents today as you sit here looking out, looking forward? We're seeing, as the mayor said earlier, we're seeing sort of an opening or a reopening. What would you offer the residents?
The main thing is, I can't stress enough to get out and support our businesses. Whether it be a dry cleaner, a local pizza shop, anything that's out there in our community, support them. They are going through a tough time. They're doing what they can. As I get out there, I ask them how they're doing. The question is, either we're doing okay or we're surviving. And when you hear the word surviving,
That's a tough word.
it's a tough word to hear.
Yes, sir.
They're getting along. Some of the businesses are prospering, but the good thing is other businesses are opening in town. As they open and we go out and do grand openings, get out there, support them, go in, stop in, welcome them to our community. We have a wonderful coffee shop just opened up, barbecue place.
really?
So a lot, it's that new type of businesses that are open, the different type of trending businesses. But get out there, support them, enjoy the community, tell others. If you need a job, they're out there. The restaurants and businesses have jobs. You'll see signs across the town. If not, contact my office. I'll put you in contact with somebody who's looking for employees.
Okay, and Mayor, off the air, you alluded to the fact that people chipped in. Everybody seemed to jump into this fray
Sure.
during this tough time.
Yes.
There was nobody standing.
Well, a great big thank you, Gene, to everyone who stepped up to the plate, as they say, from the business to the individual who would come down to this building and drop off whatever they had, cleaning supplies or gloves or masks. It was just a great effort, our community. And one of the things that's come out of this pandemic is that Old Bridge has become very, very desirable to move
Yes.
to.
Yeah.
As people leave some of these areas that may not come back for 10 to 15 years, if ever, they're coming to Old Bridge in droves. And I want to welcome all of them here to our town.
Please,
We're a
yeah.
great community. You're coming here for a reason. Things are really looking good. The housing market is going
booming.
booming
It is
here in
booming.
Old Bridge. In
It
fact,
really
we did
is.
cut a ribbon on a new realtor who came to town, just because
Okay.
of the
Because of what's
because of the
happening,
market. So
Yeah.
it's been a very difficult time, probably one of the most difficult times in the history of Old Bridge.
Yes, I bet
because
it
of
has
how
been.
many. This was township wide. Nobody escaped it.
Right.
No one.
Yeah.
So we had.
I think most of us have never lived through anything like this, before. This is just amazing. Okay, gentlemen, thank you. Steve, I want to thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having
Best
me.
of luck with your future ventures. I know you'll
Thank you.
be turning more leaves over as you go along. And Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Gene. Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
Folks, we've been trying to shed some light on the COVID-19, the impact it's had on the township operations and on the business operations, and we hope we've filled in a few blank spots for you today. Thank you for watching. This is Old Bridge Television 15. We'll see you again next time. I'm Gene McLaughlin. Take care.